हेलो गाइस, वीक नाइट एडिशन में आपका स्वागत है। आपके साथ मिस्टर सागर एंड टुडे वी आर डूइंग बुक रिव्यू ऑफ गेस द बुक Bleak House. Guess the author Charles Dickens. There are many keys printed on the paper, on the cover, and the house named Bleak House. Everything is quite symbolic, and that's the specialty of Mr. Charles Dickens. So as mentioned in the first page of the book, Charles Dickens was second of the eighth kid in the family, and as expected, they were struggling, and he had to be like due to some conditions in the family, he had to like work in a boot blending factory, and as we all understand, the conditions are not very good, and he had to go through all of the things, like school conditions, school is a word that Dickens has used, and deep despair. And again, he joined the back school, but again he had to leave because of the income and circumstance and everything. Then he started working for newspapers, like he had this interest. He started working as an office boy, and then started working in his London newspaper. Started working doing sketches that would be published together in 1836 as sketches by Balls. Balls maybe translates. So I'm doing this reading slowly because I understand that this is not going to be a very fast. It's going to be a like good length of book. So the slower we go, the better we can grasp. I can go like I can if you just want to do the summary of the book. So it is very easy that novel is in Victorian England and centering on the legal word, particularly on the Court of Chancery, and the book critiques the slow and inefficient legal system throughout the long-running Jarndyce and Jarndyce lawsuit. So Jarndyce and Jarndyce is a never-ending legal case. I'm surprised how this legal case has a name, Jarndyce and Jarndyce. It's the name of the court or like what? Court of Chancery. And novel is in set in Victorian England is the kind of background or the kind of plot where the plot takes place. And Esther Summerson is one of the main narrator, a kind, humble young woman. And later she becomes the ward of John Jarndyce, a benevolent man involved in the lawsuit. Bleak House is at the home of John Jarndyce, symbolizing refuge and moral clarity amid the chaos. Esther Adaclaire and Richard Cornston are taken in by the Jarndyce's bots. Ada and Richard fall in love. Ada, I just remember the name. Like Edward used to call his daddy Ada. Ada and Richard fall in love, but Richard is obsessed with the inheritance, which is life chasing it. Esther, Ada, and Richard, the home of because the home of John Jarndyce, and that's how the case names Jarndyce and Jarndyce. Jarndyce versus Jarndyce it should be, symbolizing refuge and moral clarity amid the chaos. So E, A, and C are Esther, Ada, and Richard are taken by Jarndyce's words. So A and R, not Esther, Ada and Richard fall in love, but R is obsessed in winning the inheritance and wastes his life chasing it. Esther develops a relationship with Dr. Allen, a kind physician. So their lives are slowly progressing, but they don't see it. They just want to focus on the case, chasing the inheritance, mystery, and Lady Deadlock. So Lady Deadlock is a noble woman hiding a secret about her past, is eventually revealed to be Esther's mother. So Inspector Bucket investigates various mysteries, including the murder of law writer Tulkinghorn, which leads to the Lady Deadlock's tragic downfall. So she was a mysterious woman and found out to be the mother of Esther, but a sleuth named Inspector Bucket he founds a case against her, including the murder of law writer Tulkinghorn, which leads to the Lady Deadlock's tragic downfall. Themes is a legal injustice, poverty, inequality, identity, moral responsibility. So people are kind of juggling between legal injustice, poverty, inequality, identity, family, and moral responsibility. Let's skip the ending part here. So why the book review of this particular book? Because it's a long book, and Bleak House is both a social critic and a deeply personal story. It combines realism, satire, romance, and metafiction. So yeah, like I'm getting interested because something similar is going on, like kind of like with my like something similar is going on around you. I don't want to like tell you exactly, but you can guess. Right? I will outline summary. Okay, so in chapter one, in Chancery, Chancery is the place where happens in the smoky court of Chancery with the interminable Jarndyce and Jarndyce law course. Dickens uses fog and bureaucracy to symbolize confusion and injustice. Chapter 2, in fashion, Lady Deadlock is introduced. She is distant from her husband. Sir, Leicester, and curious about the handwriting and the legal documents. foreshadowing secrets. So she saw handwriting in the legal documents and she foreshadowed that there will be some secrets. And then Esther reveals her often past and begins her dual narrative role. She leaves her childhood home and is sent to live with John Jarndyce, meeting A and C, Ada and Richard, and encountering eccentric characters like Mrs. Jellyby and the Rag and Bone Man, settling at Bleak House and character dynamics. Esther, Ada and Richard, E, A and R, arrive at Bleak House, hilltop, greeted warmly by the rangers. Esther claims responsibility and a sense of belonging, despite the house's visual there. As expected, it's a huge home, Bleak House. Then comes Mr. S and Mr. D, Skimpole and Gotham. So they are portrayed as lovable yet irresponsible, just like me. And C, Esther, navigating social obligations. Mr. Guppy makes a sudden marriage proposal to Esther, which she firmly declines. So this is story. Somehow I'm feeling like it's going to my life story. It's very difficult to read this. Esther falls ill after caring for the ill Joe and loses her eyesight. Something happens in her personal life. This is happening in the middle of the book, the middle of the story. Then Esther travels to Chisleyworth and confronts Lady Dedlock, who sheepishly reveals emotional guilt and hands Esther a letter containing a secret she will later explain. So here, like personal lives are getting entangled, or getting intertwined in the story. Main thread of the story is the case, like Jarndyce and Jarndyce. Around that are these characters, Esther, Richard, and Clara. Clara. And Esther is related to her mother, like Lady Dedlock, who is like a very secretive person. Like she kills someone, then some inspector finds that thing, and she's in that bit. So the book is particularly written, and the book is showcasing the social stigma and the social scenarios, and kind of portraying a beautiful art. Like I mean to say, like in a beautiful art, he's portraying the story or the circumstances in that particular time in England, in medieval times or whatever it was. So, like, and the kind of personal lives are entertaining, and secrets are revealed step by step, and the kind of like it's a beautiful story. I would say I will not just add my own words and everything here and there. I'll just try to stick to the story of the book and summary. Right. So, the Jarndyce law book suit collapses as all the inheritance is consumed by legal courts and Richard dies, what is the case ends. So they didn't plan their life, they just got occupied or they just got consumed by the case and That's how the case ends. Esther marries Dr. Woodford and establishes a peaceful life, finally closing her narrative and with hope and fulfillment. We can ask this ChatGPT. I will not hide into using different tools to get the summary of the book. And the objective is to give you the complete narrative rather than the only thing that I understand. I will give you the complete narrative. Let's turn over the page one. If I read the contents of the book, I can see like slowly the story is being painted, the written, new characters are introduced, how they are connected to the existing characters, what is their story, what are their narratives, what is going on in their life, how their story is connected with this lawsuit, and how the complete thing is getting impacted, and how the complete story is getting unfolded. So that's how I can see in the contents. Oh my! I need to learn emotional detachment. Whatever's happening at home is deeply impacted. And then like reduce these caffeine, sugar, and all these things. Chai and everything. Chai, tea, so on the preface, it is mentioned how Charles Dickens. That was I was also thinking like how this Mr. Charles Dickens. Oh, the problem is the mic is here. And I'm speaking here, so I'll just try to kind of come here. That was my question also. Like how Mr. Charles Dickens come to know about this story, particular story, right? Because he has written in depth and with a lot of interest. I've seen her other books also, but these are like huge books. So, what interested her to write this particular thing? How you got to know about this like deep question? Okay, guys, I'll